Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful Monday afternoon in Austin, Texas, right after the Formula One Grand Prix at COTA.
I see you rubbing your head with your eyes closed.
You know,
Are you hungover?
I'm not hungover. It's just been a long weekend. A lot of walking, a lot of sunshine. It was really hot.
90-degree weather in the blazing sun.
Yeah, we were
15.
sweating. We got in the car afterwards on Sunday, and we all stunk. Like, just the smell of three people in a closed car that's been sitting in the sun all day is like, it was pretty brutal.
It was not pleasant.
But the race was great. It wasn't crazy interesting, but it was a great experience to see it in front of you, happening live. Just the sounds, the sights, the smells, and all the little events you get to do at the Formula One. That was really fun.
Oh, yeah, we got to try a pit stop.
Yeah,
we did it with some random Austrian guy? No, Argentinian.
Yeah,
guy,
it was
right?
Argentinian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to change out a tire in a little Formula One simulation thing. I got to use a little drill, even though it wasn't as fast as the real drill.
I was using the real tire, though, so
Yeah.
that's how heavy they are.
Yeah.
I was taking out the tire, and the Argentinian guy was putting it in. And we did it. Our fastest time was 3.38. Our slowest time was like a 4.8.
Yeah, that was we were getting to know each other, you know. We were holding hands, making sure nobody lost any fingers. But it was intense. It was a lot of fun.
The food was really good too.
Food was great.
We ate fries and shawarmas and gyros all weekend.
We just ate Middle Eastern food because it was the only one that was like not a 40-minute wait for pizza.
Yeah. The pizza, the burgers, everything had more than like a 30-minute wait. You could just walk up to the Mediterranean place and get whatever. Beer was actually surprisingly cheap. When I say cheap, relative, of course, $9. I thought we were going to be paying $15 per beer.
Yeah, it was like $9 a tall boy, which from an event standing isn't too bad.
That's not bad. That's bar prices.
Yeah.
That's bar prices.
Well, I don't know what bars you go to because the bars I go to do not cost that much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the crowd was a whole lot of fun. We were in front of Perez fans.
Yeah.
And they were fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Every time, 56 laps, every time he came around, they were cheering for him.
Yeah. And every time Lewis Hamilton came around, they were like,
Yeah, they were
not booing him, but it was like, it was basically booing.
They were kind of waving him off in their own way, giving him some unfriendly gestures.
Yeah, maybe not the friendliest of gestures.
But the crowd was awesome. For everybody sitting out in the heat, nobody was upset. I didn't hear anybody like yelling or fighting or getting angry. It was just...
We were too tired.
Yeah, everybody was just so exhausted. They were just trying to survive. It wasn't drive to survive. It was sit to survive.
It was sit to survive. I remember they were trying to do the wave, and they were trying to get everybody all animated. And then I was like, it's too hot. Like, I'm not gonna stand up. I'll wave my arms though.
Nobody did the wave.
Yeah, they got pretty far though.
But it was great. At turn 15, we were having a lot of fun. The vibe checked out.
Mm-hmm.
We assessed the situation.
We passed also the GA areas at Big Red, so turn 1. We also passed them right there at turn, I think it's like 17 they call it. That's a GA section. So we got to see those two sections a lot.
And they were packed.
They were super packed.
140,000 people. That's a record for COTA.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. And you could feel it. On Friday we went. It wasn't super packed, but everyone that we have talked to said that this was the most packed that's ever been on a Friday. So I think from then on, we kind of knew, okay, tomorrow's going to be worse, and then Sunday's somehow going to be even worse than that. And that was the case. Saturday was pretty crazy, and then Sunday was pretty crazy.
But speaking of the crowd, there wasn't a whole lot of, like, big fan, I don't know what you call it, like biases.
It was a good, diverse crowd in terms of the teams.
Yeah, a lot of McLaren, a lot of Ferrari that I saw.
Red Bull.
A lot of Red Bull. Couple of them, not as many Mercedes as you would think. But
yeah, I was actually surprised.
There was plenty of Mercedes fans out there.
Yeah.
Even saw like 2 or 3 people wearing Haas jerseys. So
yeah.
they represented Aston Martin. They were all out there. It was a good mix. There was no like wave or sea of orange.
Alfa Romeo, I also saw them a lot. The one I saw the least probably was either Williams or AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I think I saw one guy in a Williams jersey. But
yeah, I saw one guy in an AlphaTauri jersey, and that was it. Everyone else, you could look around and you'd see some of them at least.
The big two is definitely McLaren and Ferrari.
There were some people walking around with the green hat with the orange Mercedes kind of edging on it. And I really wanted one, but then we found out that it cost $120 for just a damn hat. So we said no to that.
Yeah, 120 for a hat's tough, especially when you can just, take them for free.
Yeah, you can take them for free. Sometimes they give them out.
Sometimes
People drop them on the floor, and maybe you think to yourself, I have a new hat now.
Sometimes the employees look the other way, and you just borrow them for the next race.
Yeah,
we'll hold on to them for a year.
But with those kinds of prices, it's absolutely bananas. I can't believe they were charging that much. All the merch was extremely expensive, except if you were buying merch from like 10 years ago, which they still had stock of, surprisingly.
Yeah, they had some last year's merch. That was all. They had some like outlet F1 stores that were decent. It was like 2 for $50.
Yeah,
stuff like that. It wasn't
pretty
crazy, but at the end of the day, I knew F1 prices were going to be a lot because even their main store is an insane amount of money.
Yeah. The F1 in the U.S., I would say now, there's no doubt about it that there has been a breakthrough of fans in the U.S. That was nuts to be in the crowd with so many people. To have 2 events, the Red Bull event and then this one, I didn't realize there was other people watching Formula One. I thought I was just watching with a bunch of Europeans.
Now, the U.S. definitely is growing. I think that has to do with other motorsports that are going on with IndyCar and NASCAR. They're all getting a little more popular. NASCAR is getting a little stagnant, but IndyCar has grown tremendously. It's the open wheel concept cars really, really shining these days.
We're going to have to go to one.
Yeah, if Miami's anything like this next year, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's going to be hot, though.
Yeah, it's even more hot somehow. Oh, it's going to be humid as well.
Yeah.
People were saying it was humid yesterday. I don't think I really felt that. It was a little humid, but not Houston humid.
Yeah, it was like I live on the water. And, it's that humid on a good day.
Yeah.
On a bad day, you like open your door and all your windows just immediately fog up.
So for the race, what did you think about it?
I really liked it. I thought everybody was pretty competitive. The midfield with McLaren and Ferrari fighting it out was awesome. By like lap 30 or 40, they were pretty spread out. But Bottas had a lot of catching up to do, and he just could not get it. It was hot. The tires were losing. I think it was like lap 12 or 15, they started doing tire changes. It was really early.
Max was 11, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it was just getting so hot. They were like, just put on the hards, and they drove those.
Yeah.
But it was a 2 pit stop race for everybody. From a competition standpoint, it was awesome seeing Verstappen get the win.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He was so fast. In the middle of the race, he was like, they were just talking about how he was gaining 1.5 seconds or more each lap.
Yeah.
By the end of it, Hamilton pitted later and was trying to catch up, but couldn't do it.
Yeah, there wasn't enough laps left.
I think even with laps, he'd still have to overtake him.
Yeah, find the right opportunity.
Verstappen would block just like he tried to in the first turn.
I know on the last turn, he caught up to Lewis caught up to Max, and I think they finished the race with like 0.5 second. Being separated. So that's pretty nuts.
It was cool seeing turn 15, though. I think if we do it again, we're either going to do GA or we're going to get maybe seats with coverings.
Yeah, main grandstand maybe.
Because it was hot.
It was pretty brutal. And it's like, I wanted to enjoy the events and be there all day, but you couldn't.
We still did.
Yeah, but you couldn't. Like, we missed the Formula 4 races. Yeah. I know we didn't watch all the WSeries stuff, like qualifying and practice, because it's just like, if you have to watch the F1 stuff later, you'd rather cook in the sun then.
But man, hearing those cars in person, it's just crazy. I mean, they're so loud, they're so fast. Because when we were watching, we watched free practice 1 and 2. And when they were just cruising around, it's like, okay, that's pretty quick. And then you watch qualifying, and they're going
flying. All of them are going super fast. And then the entire race, everyone was just flying through. Mm-hmm. If they were coming by, they were going as fast as they could.
Yeah, but turn 15 was great. We got to see Carlos Sainz fighting Bottas. Mm-hmm. Bottas tried to overtake on turn 15, and Sainz literally pushed him wide. Yeah. And the next lap, guess who came by? It was Bottas first. So
yeah, he took him on the straight, I think. Yeah, so it was cool. It did kind of suck though, because you were only getting kind of one perspective of the race. They did have some TV screens, but where we were sitting, we were like right dead smack in the middle, and the screens were at the far end. So the screens were kind of far, and you definitely couldn't hear the speaker over the cars. Mm-hmm. So. And we were trying to get signal on our phones to watch what was going on, but it was kind of hard to keep up. But, I mean, you were watching it in real life. You would see Hamilton was in the lead, then you see that Max was in the lead, then you saw, I think Perez was in the lead for maybe a little bit.
I don't think so.
He was pretty far back. But I really enjoyed the Ferrari McLaren battle. I think that was the main thing we were getting the entire time.
Yeah.
And both us having to charge through them.
From ninth to sixth.
Yeah, from ninth to get past those, because I think that speaks a lot to his skill. But it also does show the pace difference between him and Hamilton, because Hamilton and Max were in their own race. They had nothing else going on.
I'm super impressed by the way the Honda cars sound. If you had to blindfold me and put me in front of those F1 cars and have them drive by, you know exactly which one was AlphaTauri.
Yeah, and
because it was just the sound and the reverb of those engines is insane.
Yeah,
and the Ferraris were really loud.
Yeah,
coming by, they were louder than other cars.
The Williams and the Mercedes sounded clean. It sounded like a nice functional car. It didn't sound like that's what you take to a nice dinner, and then the Honda's what you take to like a bar or a club scene. You know, you pull up in that.
You take it to a car meet.
Sergio Perez looked super strong all weekend. He was topping the charts, I think, in FP2 and FP3. And he missed out from Hamilton, by a couple of tenths.
Yeah.
Barely missed out on second position. Max was pretty ahead of them both, though. But barely missed out to Hamilton. And I wonder if it would have been a 1-2 if he would have qualified a little better. But he didn't have water, actually, for half of the race. So I can't imagine, when we were in the stands, I was drinking water and I was dehydrating. I can't imagine racing a car at 300, 200 miles per hour and in that sun, in your fire suit, in your helmet, and pushing through.
Yeah, we watched the interview afterwards. He looked beat.
Yeah, he looked destroyed.
Looked like somebody beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I know there was a lot of first lap shenanigans too. A lot of the Alpine, the Williams Latifi crashing into Stroll, spinning out. But it wasn't anything like overly dramatic. It was just kind of a normal spin out. I know Esteban Ocon did have to retire eventually, and because the track was so bumpy, did you know that Alonso's rear wing cracked?
Yeah,
and he had to get out of the race.
They just retired.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they weren't getting points anyways.
Yeah.
But it was it wasn't even the midfield going crazy. Even though they were pushing each other off the tracks and being really aggressive, nobody hit anybody.
Yeah.
It was like Alpine, Williams, everybody who was like 12th and back were just crashing into each other, popping wings off, hitting each other's tires. It was pretty nuts. But we didn't really get to watch most of it because turn 15, it's great for overtakes if they get that perfect spot, if they get the run up. But for the most part, a lot of the drama is like turn 1 because you get that huge, wide, sweeping turn.
Straight after that, straight away.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it. It was cool seeing them drive by. And the best part, again, was hearing those damn engines.
There's nothing like it. It doesn't compare in TV or on YouTube or anything like that. Just watching it in person is crazy. Yeah. The reverb from the engines and the crackling and the downshifting when they're going full speed.
Yeah.
It sounds great. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner with those twin turbos.
Vettel had a really good race. He started P18, got into the points towards the end. So that was a really impressive run for him. I remember seeing him. I think he was battling, was it one of the Haas? Maybe he was overtaking it.
Yeah.
It looked like the Haas did the better move, but because the speed difference was so different from the Haas and the Aston Martin, it just took off when they exited turn 15 and kept going. So,
yeah, comparing the speeds of the cars, I mean, I know driver skills influenced as well, but the speeds of the top 3, even top 10, are crazy fast compared to everybody else.
You could tell when those top teams were doing hot laps during free practice and qualifying because they were just flying while the other guys just looked so off the pace.
We were 4 laps into the race and everybody passed, and then there was a Haas that just came winding
yeah,
down
that
the
was
road.
Really sad. We were cheering the Haas at first. It was such pity. It was like a pity cheer. We were just like, oh look, there's Nikita Mazepin, 30 seconds behind already.
He was struggling.
Yeah,
I could only imagine how hard it is, but I mean, you got to be the best in the world to race these guys.
Yeah,
they're not gonna give you any space, any time. Slack. If you're too slow, they'll hit you, or they'll go around you and push you out of the way. Speaking of Haas, during the last few laps, we even saw it. Schumacher. No, it wasn't Schumacher. It was the other guy.
Mazepin?
Yeah, Mazepin got a blue flag. and he wouldn't get out of the way. That was at turn 15 when it
Oh, no, that was Schumacher.
That was Schumacher?
That was Schumacher. Schumacher had a lot of mistakes this race.
Yeah, he got blue flag because at turn 15, there's a stand with a blue flag that was flying, and as soon as you take the turn, you see it again at 16 with a guy waving a blue flag and a giant screen that's blue.
Yeah.
And he saw both of them and didn't move over the two title contenders were right behind him.
Yeah, he ended up blocking Max Verstappen so that Lewis could catch up a little more. Mm-hmm. That's what closed the gap, because I think originally the whole race, Max never had DRS. Lewis never had DRS, so he never got within that 1 second range. But then, because that happened, Max was now in DRS range, because when they got to the first lap, I guess turn 19, he was in the DRS detection zone. That was what caused that split second difference. So he blocked him, but he ended up benefiting from it because he got DRS down the straight, which Hamilton maybe would have caught him on the straight.
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
They were still pretty far. But yeah, congrats to Yuki Tsunoda. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Finishing in the points. He had a super solid race.
Japanese guy showing everybody, shutting everybody up. He's a rookie. He was doing bad at first, but this is second time. Second time Q3. Second time chilling in the points. First time actually getting in the points.
And it's a decent car. I could see him doing. I could see him squeaking in somewhere between the McLarens and the Ferraris on a really good Sunday.
On a lucky day, yeah. Maybe they spin out or something like that. He could definitely take those positions up. He also was racing. There was somebody on his ass the entire race. I don't know if it was Raikkonen or Vettel.
Kimmy.
Yeah,
Kimmy was behind him until he had a spin out, like almost when the race was over.
Yeah, that was really awesome. So yeah, good race on Yuki. We got to walk the track at the end. So at the end, we were leaving. Everybody left because they had to get on the shuttles, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. They just kind of left the gates open, and you can walk in, chill on the track. We got to walk up to turn 1, and so we went up that giant incline.
Yeah, it does not compare in video games or TV or pictures or anything like that. I mean, walking up that, it's a 30-meter uphill, but it's 100 meters total of just straight up. I don't know how else to describe it, but it's like you get to the top and you look on both sides, and even standing up straight, it's like I could not see the start of the next turn from the bottom of the hill. So you would go up blind and come back down swinging as fast as you can, and you only start to see those turns once you're at the bottom of the hill.
I feel like you have to know the track to be able to do those tracks successfully. You can't,
fast?
Yeah, you can't not know the track.
But it was great. It was great. You know, I didn't know we were allowed to walk the track.
Yeah.
But we saw people doing it, and some gates were open. And then as we started getting closer to the pit lane, they were like, "Oh, you guys got to leave."
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the pit lane was definitely, or the pit lane and the grid start was definitely closed. But the rest of it, I guess after the podium celebration, they just let whoever walk the track. So that was really cool.
Yeah, it was a really good experience. Got a lot of good pictures.
Yeah, a lot of really good pictures. Maybe I'll make it on the thumbnail for this one, because we took a lot of really nice pictures for it. Thanks for watching, everybody. It was super fun hanging out at the U.S. Grand Prix. Maybe next time we won't get as drunk and maybe enjoy it a little more. But I think we enjoyed it in our own way. We'll be sure to upload a couple of more videos from the events that happened this weekend. I've got 1 or 2 more live ones coming out, and so you'll see those. We got to see some famous F1 drivers and team members, so be on the lookout for that. And thanks for watching. See ya.